What's up everybody? Welcome back to Make It Kustom. I'm Carl Fisher and today we are back on the Roadster Model A. Last time we were working on it, we just tacked this dash in. This is a little bit crooked, it's bothering me, so I have to undo this, move it over, and then we're gonna weld this whole thing in. We're gonna try out that new welder I was telling you guys about. I'm really excited to try this thing. It's one of those 10-in-1 things. So it's like a plasma cutter, a MIG and a TIG and a stick and kind of all that stuff. So that's what this video is all about. Don't forget to like, click subscribe, hit notifications. Let's do it. Popped the center dash kind of waterfall piece out. The plan for this piece is going to be to have some kind of cool insert on the center of this that maybe has our ignition, our lights, and possibly a heater. We're definitely gonna do the heater. Feedback from all you guys, even guys in California, you're like, you gotta have a heater. While it's off, I think it's a good time to actually weld this whole thing as well. So I'm gonna start off by designing this little center insert, and then we're gonna get on to just welding all this up with our new welder. So I'm kind of thinking something like this. So we've got this border around the outside that perhaps we can have some like nice hardware in. Perhaps we make a little dimple die again. I don't know if you guys have been here a while, you may have seen my dimple die tool. Basically it's a little punch that makes a little raised area to countersink, you know, nice bits of hardware. This might be a nice place to add some of that. We could have a few of those all the way around, and then we could have just this smaller area with the brass. Maybe we could have our ignition here, lights, heater, like I was saying. I think this has indicators on it, or maybe it doesn't. Yeah, oh no, there's two little holes here. Those must be the turn signal indicators. I'll have to check. I'm gonna read that to see whether or not it has indicators, because we could put like maybe a high beam indicator. Who needs indicators? Keep this simple, that's kind of the idea. It's either here and here or there and there. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This brass piece could be, we could bead roll this to like push it up, out. That might be what I try and do. Something to think about, but I'm probably going to at least cut this out now, make a template for it. I found a bit of brass. I might have enough to actually do this. I'm sort of into this right now. I might just do this right now. Got this piece made up here, and I'm going to bead roll it. I'm gonna try it anyway. Hopefully this works. What these dies are, they kind of do a step and a radius. And that kind of goes with the flow of our center dash piece, how it kind of like bumps up, that little Art Deco style kind of thing. So I think I'm gonna try and do that all the way around here. It might affect the flange a little bit, so we might have to like kick shrink at the flange maybe a little bit or stretch. That will be fine because that's gonna push through from the backside. I may not even do this hardware thing, honestly, because the car, the dash, like everything seems so clean without hardware. And those 3 screws on top of the dash, I'm probably gonna delete those also because they're not exactly perfectly lined up in the center and it draws your eye, which I don't really like. Either way, I'm gonna try and step this thing up pretty good and then maybe give it a little bit of a polish and then open up the hole in the dash and finish the welding. If you're new to the channel, this is a bead roller that Elio and I designed and built together here. We've got the DWG files. Unfortunately, they're not DXFs, but they're free and they're on the website if you want to build this bead roller. I'll put the link in the description also. We are working on DXF files. Actually, they should, by the time this video posts, we should have them. Let's try and get this thing lined up pretty good. I think we're gonna have to run this a few times through here. Take your time, you know, if you're new to bead rolling, you wanna take your time no matter what and just follow the line. I like to get down low because sometimes if you're steering from up here, it's easy to get away from you. But if you're looking right at the contact point, that's how you're gonna be able to be a little bit more accurate. We both roll 16 gauge steel with this bead roller, and it's got a 36-inch throat depth. I know there's not a whole lot of clearance in here. It's not one of those fancy ones that has the, you know, the extra post, but for the money, it's pretty good. You always want to make sure you got an even flow. Try not to be jerky. Even if you think that you have to correct something, try and just keep it even. Our first pass is actually pretty good. You can see how this is a little bit distorted. That's because we've kind of bent this and now there's a little bit too much material here. I might have to go around and just kick shrink that a little bit. I'm almost like thinking that it might be a one and done situation. It could probably go one more, but would you keep it like that?
Yeah, because then you have the chance of like not following the line exactly.
You know what, Elio's right, let's not chance it because we didn't even mark the edge of the wheel and we did get quite a bit out of it. So brass doesn't like shrink and stretch super easy, especially when you're just bead rolling. So what's happened is that this has kind of used up some material and now there's a little bit too much material on the edge. So it's kind of shrunk a little bit this way. So the outside has kind of tried to shrink. It can't because it's got this frame here, but that's why it's all kind of wonky. If we want to flatten that out, it's the radiuses that mess us up. Not this edge, because it's just directly flat, nothing's happening there. It's only the radiuses. I can just feel it falling. It's helping with every kick. I may have actually even gone a bit too much and it pulled down maybe a little bit, but might tap it with a hammer on something flat after, but it's doing the job we're asking it to. Just a quick note, the Planishing Hammer is coming back. We are doing a run of 50 of these. We had like 80 requests building up on the website. We're gonna have stock of all the parts to build them in the next few weeks, and we will just be smashing them out for you guys. Thanks a lot for all your support as always, and japhandskustoms.com if you want some tools and check out some of the stuff that we do. Thank you. Back to the video. What do you think? Pushes through just a little bit. I think it looks nice. It's almost a shame to put a little key switch in there, but I'm not sure exactly where they're gonna go, if we're gonna do 2 and then 1, or if it's gonna be 1, 2, and 1, but we'll figure that out. Now it is on to welding. This welder is a SSimder 10-in-1 welder cutter. So it has, believe it or not, TIG welding DC 200 amps, 50 amp plasma cutting, MIG welding. You can hook a spool gun to this thing. It does everything. This thing has a nice digital readout. It comes with everything you need to get started. This is the Pro Kit. I'm gonna put all the links in the description if you guys wanna get one. It's for garage guys, right? If you're in the garage and you wanna save space, if this welder works as good as it looks, might be the one for you. The other cool thing is that you can actually hook this thing up to one 10-volt plug or 220. So this is the adapter, and the welder will just know what it's hooked up to, and it will limit itself for that power source. So if you have 110, you can still weld with this thing. You can still TIG weld, you can still plasma cut, you can still MIG weld, you can still do all the things with only 110 volt. This Pro Kit doesn't come with a foot pedal, but they do have all the accessories. I'm gonna try it without a foot pedal. I love foot pedals, so I'm kind of bummed that I don't have one with it. I'll probably end up ordering it because why wouldn't you? I'm gonna give you guys my honest review on it. I'm not into, just pumping a product, so probably going to TIG weld everything on the center, and then I'll probably MIG weld in these areas. Okay guys, I said I was gonna be honest with this review, and I got something to tell you guys. This thing, I already don't like it. And the reason being is that I plugged in the ground. Look at what was in the ground connector. Look at how hollow that is. It ripped right off. This is normally, looks like this. This is a twist lock style cable end. This is what is on all welders basically, but in different sizes. These ones are kind of small, but this end should be solid, or at least thicker. It's so thin that if this is your contact, just that thin amount of brass, how does that equal the same continuity as what this cable is? It doesn't. Unfortunately, I plugged the ground in. It worked the first time, and then I went to plug it in again, and it just ripped. Okay, I wanted to see whether or not it was just this end. Maybe it was a mistake, but I grabbed this. I'm not gonna destroy this end. I could take a pair of side cutters and just rip that thing right open. I don't wanna fault the welder yet. This is dumb. I'm gonna give it a chance. I still think that the welder looks nice, and I've read some reviews on it, and it sounds like it works great. If you're gonna buy one of these, you'll have to know that. You'll definitely want to replace this. SSimder, this is the honest review that I'm giving you. This needs work. The machine looks great. I love how easy the knobs are and how easy I can set the machine. I haven't used it yet, but this needs work. It broke on setup. Fix that. Anyway, I'm gonna fix it and try to weld with this today. I'm gonna continue tacking this along the joints until I've got it tacked every half inch or so, and then we're gonna full weld this. Some of you guys are probably like, how's he gonna weld without a helmet? I had to quickly consult the book here on how to turn off the frequency. You just put the frequency down to 0. That was easy. It's been a morning. Okay, let's do some tacks. So far, just tacking, I actually quite enjoy the button because it makes it very easy. It pre-flows a little bit of gas, it lights it up, I dab it, and then it stops. I've got a little bit of an uneven gap here, so I might just MIG welding that. But I'm gonna go ahead and TIG weld this seam all the way around, and I'm gonna TIG weld these seams. I'm just gonna leave it at the current setting and use a little bit of filler, and I'm just gonna go one end to the other, all in one go. I was using 50 amps, just kind of dabbing the filler wire in there using 040 filler wire. You can also use MIG wire. For consistent welding, it's totally fine to have a button like that. I think I would want a foot pedal if my gap was not consistent. My next step is I am going to, I guess I'll probably set this up for MIG, and I'll MIG this little area. I'm also going to smooth out my welds and hammer them, because when you do a weld like that, you're distorting it consistently by doing big welds, right? I can put these on a T-dolly and smash them out again, and then just smooth everything out with some sanding. If you have not already, I don't know if we're gonna already be sold out by the time this drops, but in Northern California near Sacramento, we're doing a metal shaping class that's gonna be a 2-day class. We are gonna build we're calling this the Hammer Jammer, tentatively, profile machine, whatever, you've seen it on the channel. I've been loving on this thing. We just made these dies to do Dan's truck. You saw that on the last video. We're gonna build 10 of them at this class, 10 people only, 10 machines. We're almost sold out right now, so this is probably sold out by the time you're seeing it, but look out for the next time I do it, or hit me up and tell me that you want to do this class and we'll just do another one. That's all in the description if you want to do that. We've launched Patreon. I'm trying to get 2 videos a week out on this channel. We're trying to start a second channel. We're trying to do all this stuff. So thank you so much for all the support. I just really appreciate you guys. And if you have not already thrown a like and subscribe or a comment, it does really help the videos reach, so that we can help more people do metal shaping in their own garages, you know? Enough about that. Let's get back at this and finish out our center. I'm just using the T-dollies here to stretch out this weld, and basically all I'm doing is I'm looking down to see where the banana is in this. I'm stretching those areas and watching the curve come back out of it to check how I'm progressing with the shape. It actually had a bit of a flat spot in here, so I'm also kind of correcting that. You don't have to buy T-dollies, you can just make them. I don't have a whole lot more to do. I'm looking pretty good. We're getting there, we're getting there. Slowly but surely. All right, so I did lose a bunch of audio, so I didn't really explain what was happening in the last few clips that came through there, but I'm gonna do that now. What I was kind of showing you guys was that this gap was here in between this piece and this piece. So what I wanted to do was take that metal from the lower piece and kind of just curve it up. That's what you saw me doing, was taking up this gap. The gap was too big to weld. We just flipped this upside down on the mother tucker stump there and used the nylon and the tucking hammer, the back side, allow that to roll. We do have a nice butt weld there now because the TIG welder has just the button. I really liked it for tacking and for running the welds on this piece. But for something like this, where the gap's tight and then it gets a little bit fatter, like that's almost the blade width of a grinder, that's when you would have a foot pedal and you would roll off your amperage a little bit to cool it off, because now you've got a gap to fill. You're gonna use different amperage in that situation versus tight metal together. If I sound tired, it's like really late and I couldn't sleep and we're going to go on a big road trip tomorrow. We're actually gonna have the second channel up and going probably by the time this video drops, if not very, very soon. Make It Kustom Unleashed, and that's just like where we're gonna put all the extra footage. Going for a skid, bud! This episode, I'm going to Japan. We are in Australia. We're at the Moon Eye Show today, and it is crazy in here. We're going on a little ride tomorrow. This place is insane. Yes! So we got a few stops today.
Okay, it's another day at Maple Ridge.
A little more subtle, but very custom.
I'm having fun.
Me too. Lifestyle stuff, camping in the woods. I'm gonna jump back on this. I got the welder set up with the MIG. It's got this big fancy clamp that puts the MIG situation on. And in that one plug, it's got the gas and the trigger wires and everything. It doesn't have to be plugged in a couple times. Just set it up for welding some sheet metal, so just low settings. And we'll spot this in, and then maybe even try the plasma cutter. That's welding really nice, and the settings are actually adjusting both for me, so it's on an auto set feature right now. Now that little gap area I was talking about, I'm just gonna turn the welder down a little bit. I'm just gonna crank this thing up and weld some plate, just see how it does. You guys make up your mind about the lug thing. I broke it, bummer. I'm not writing it off yet because it's doing all the stuff I'm asking it to do. For a really cheap machine, you kinda gotta expect that it's not industrial grade. If that's all that's wrong with it, I mean, it's not the worst. On my miller, I would do this at probably 18.5 volts. Needs a little bit more wire speed. Laid down a decent weld. It's definitely got power. That definitely wasn't all the way up, and you're not really gonna weld thicker than this on a car. It's got the power. I'm gonna go ahead and grind this up now that I shot sparks all over it. And I wanna see it with the brass sitting in it, all prettied up with the gauge in it, and then we're gonna call it a video. Make it custom! Let's crank it up to all the balls. We got 50 amps. Kind of burnt up the tip from piercing maybe a little bit, but does the 1/2 inch blade. Let me give you my honest review. It's sweet that it's got all the functions that it has. I'm interested to try the spool gun. I would love to get a TIG pedal for it. I do like the TIG torch with the button for what I was doing. I think that was kind of cool. I've actually never had a button start like that. So it was very fast for tacking. It works just as good as my other 200 amp TIG welder from the little bit that I've used it. MIG welder seems totally fine. Plasma cutter seems totally fine. I'm gonna have to check it out, see if I actually burnt up that tip that fast or not. Bang for your buck. $1,000 if you use the discount code they gave me for you guys. I think these are regular $12.99. I'm not pressuring you to get it. I am gonna keep using the machine. The reason why I was kind of excited to get it is because it does all the things, and I was thinking road tripping the ramp truck when it's done and having some tools on it. Spoiler alert, I can drop in on some of you guys and girls. That's one of the dreams with the ramp truck. Anyway, I think for $1,000 you can't really go wrong because it has all the things. If you want one, grab one. If you don't, you don't. All in all, super happy with how far we got with the Roadster. Let me just go grab that piece. There it is. I think it's beautiful. Let me know what you think. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. Thanks a lot for watching Make It Kustom, everybody. Really appreciate you following along. If you want a little more out of the channel, there's the Patreon. We got DXF files on there. Go check it out if you're into it. There's a little bit of behind the scenes footage of our daily stuff that we're doing around the shop with me and Elio, like what do we do every day, that kind of stuff. Appreciate every single one of you, and we'll see you on the next video. See you next time. Bye-bye.